Hello? They sleeping.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm
PNG's so good.
Oh my god. Okay. Hi.
Hi.
I find it very funny. I didn't intend to be back to back with kaiju because Killer Clowns is literally the movie that gave me the phobia of practical effects.
Oh, yeah.
Because to me, it's a sensory thing, and it makes my skin crawl thinking
so
about
fun.
it. But but listening to them, I'm like, okay, I'll have an open mind. But when they were describing the candy or cotton candy, I'm like, I was like having flashbacks, and I was like, no. But it was very fun to listen to. I don't think I have the stomach to give it a second watch.
That's so fair.
I have too much trauma with that film.
Yeah. It's funny because like I hear a lot of people talk about how like claymation stuff especially like still as an adult freaks them out. And that's like I feel like that's one of the things that like builds up the case for practical effects, where even if it's bad, it still has a much stronger impact on audiences than CGI. And good or bad.
Yeah, and I totally agree with like we need more of it because computer graphics will constantly be improving, just like artists and creatives getting more resources and accessibility and seeing things and getting ideas. I used to be super creeped out by claymation, but ever since I started watching Jack Stauber's videos, I've fallen in love with it. It used to creep me out, but now I just adore it. But hi, I'm Pax. I was gonna talk about like 2010s, because like Deviantart came out in the 2000s, but it's like 2000s, 2010s. Deviantart, Goldrush, and being cringe on the internet. But can I swear?
Yes.
Fucking I grew up on Deviantart. Like when I was like 9 to 10, I started using it. But before that, I was like in Warrior Cat roleplay groups, and we all moved to Deviantart. And it was just such a very popular, fun time.
Yeah.
To be on there. I don't know if you had a DeviantArt or like were aware of the culture.
Oh, I absolutely did. Yeah.
Yeah, because like I mean, we both still draw, but it was so pretty and like cool to just go to a place that had at the time a lot of customization options, and DeviantArt groups were a thing and whatnot, and a lot of that I wrote down notes because I just wanted to talk about these things. A lot of it was just so easy to access, so it opened up a lot of creative doors for me,
right,
both as an artist and someone like developing new interests. And I love the time when you could put stamps on your page, and it's like, I ship Amy Rose X Shadow on your DeviantArt stamp on your profile. You would put the most cringe, weird things on there, or I had like Sonic stamps and Warrior Cat stamps and just all these little niche things that only a 12-year-old would put on the internet. And I kind of miss that because it was all so customizable. I wish I could go back. I had like probably like 4 to 5 DeviantArt accounts because you know, you just constantly want to change your username or like start fresh because you're a young impressionable kid on the internet.
Right.
But I wish I could go back and like see the web page that I made. I made artwork and I learned shoddy HTML code, and my friend gifted me the whatever core membership. That's what it's called. I forgot what it was called because we don't like DeviantArt now.
Yeah, we don't like DeviantArt.
I'm talking about when it was good,
Yeah.
Because it was early internet and it started from a small team, and then that small team sold it to big people, and big people were like, okay, let's make money off of it. But I was primarily on DeviantArt during that transition time when it started to become less popular and there was less engagement. And then they started pushing out, I've never used ArtStation, but I see a lot of comparisons with ArtStation to make it more of like a portfolio site and make it look more professional. But the whole charm of it is that it wasn't professional.
Right.
You would post your amateur photography, you would draw your ship art, you would post DeviantArt bases. Oh my god, that's a whole can of worms.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's my favorite thing. And I miss DeviantArt bases so much.
Yeah.
And literally the only thing I have on my DeviantArt is I don't trust with the sad era of AI art. I don't have any of my artwork on there. I only have my height charts on there for people to use.
Right.
Because I want it to be there, and I don't want to erase... I feel sad that I have to erase parts of me and my art history because I don't have all my MS Paint art. I don't have all my... when I use Paint Tool SAI. I don't know if we call it Psy.
I usually call it Psy.
Yeah, because I feel... But then we started talking about Yacht. God, it was just so nice back in the 2010s, and I was 12 on the internet, and you're just oh, I'm gonna customize my page. And a lot of the time, I would just spend either refreshing the new uploads page because it was cool. I would find a new artist. I don't know if they're still on the internet, and everyone deserves privacy because half the time people would get so much engagement they would hop off the internet. We had that whole Project CloverKit thing on Tumblr and DeviantArt where I guess a short summary of that situation is people started love bombing this kid on the internet with the hashtag of Project CloverKit because they made a cringe, a quote-unquote cringe Warrior Cats OC because cats can't be green and CloverKit's a silly name, but it's it was just a kid making cringe art on the internet, which we're all allowed to do. We're all allowed to have fun. It's Cringemas. But what I was trying to say that I would see a lot very common. There was so much engagement on DeviantArt in places like Tumblr during that era of the internet. It would be overwhelming. You would have, and I'm sure the internet's still overwhelming, but the idea of okay, a lot of people like my work, and for some reason I'm on the top page, and why is everyone loving me and hating me? This is kind of scary.
Yeah.
But it was a good place to see newly uploaded content. It was a good time to just consume things. A lot of that being when I would upload artwork on DeviantArt, I would use the vaguest tags okay, cat, furry, warrior cat. And then I would get requests from people in DeviantArt groups. I don't know if you remember how DeviantArt groups work, but these group members would just be hey, can I put your artwork in our DeviantArt group? And you're what? There's a whole community of this thing that I like? And then it was just so exciting and encouraging to find other mutuals or see artwork that had an overlap. Okay, we both have OCs, but you have OCs based on this story thing that I've never read, and then you read it, and then you fall in love with it. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it was always good because people were, unprofessional with their work.
Right.
They were, it was okay to be messy and just explore art in general. there was always like red flags over time. Like no internet place, especially as social media is like perfect, because there's always going to be something, it being a really bad mod, or they implement contests for money, but that contest is just free promotion for a product type thing, and there's always going to be something kind of about a website, but my general consensus is like, okay, 2010's DeviantArt, good. It was a good experience for me to broaden my art and consume art. And yes, DeviantArt furry bases, what a time. I'm still appalled when I bump into people on the internet and they're like, wow, furries are so cringe, and it's like, you've never met a furry.
Literally.
Because if you met a furry, you would know it's the most creative and fun and welcoming community on the internet.
Yeah, like if you're shitting on furries in the year of our Lord 2023, you just have never met one in your life.
You've never met that one, and you've only read one post about someone finding it weird. Like, the whole thing about the internet is like, you gotta take things with a grain of salt for your own protection. But if you do a little research, you could probably find something really interesting and cool.
Yeah.
But back to DeviantArt. But furries always go hand in hand. Furries are great. It was also a good place for me to like, I still have my forever friends. We I'll name drop them because I love them. They go by Epi, and I'm so happy to still have contact with them, and that they still draw. I find it so funny that like, you make a friend on DeviantArt, then you stop talking for years, and then you talk again and you're both transgender. It's delightful. But we eventually became pen pals for a while and would mail drawings to each other and just write letters, and just making a friend on the internet from DeviantArt and like the whole art community was just so special to me. Obviously there's like, I'm all about internet safety, and like, there's a possibility of bad scenarios, and I was a kid on the internet taking a lot of risks.
Right.
Like, some good things can come out of it.
Yeah.
And I just have these forever friends that are furries who do fursuits or animations, or I have some friends into game design, and as an animator, I'm just so fascinated with all the animations they can put inside game design. And just seeing that on DeviantArt was amazing. Before I talk about page customization on DeviantArt, like in depth, I just want to say, there was this person, I don't know if they still exist on the internet, but they would always do art with their mouse. And they were right-handed. The oven went off. Jay's making pizza. There was this person who, they always made art with their mouse, so they would have no pen pressure whatsoever. And all the default brushes, it was basically just using a circle tool and adjusting the transparency every now and then for shadows, but they would always have hard lines, and they started to get into color theories and rendering and shading, and I want to be able to find it again, because I know it's not like nostalgia blinding my eyes. I know that art is amazing because it was their EVOC. They drew with their fucking mouse with no pen pressure, and it's like, being able to see artists with limitations, like, oh, I can't afford a tablet, or oh, I only have this stationery to work with, I don't have nice paper for watercolor or something. And seeing artists work around with their limitations was so inspiring. And it was so easy, because all I could do is just refresh the front page and be like, oh my god, new artwork. It's cool. I'm gonna watch this person. I'm gonna add this to my inspiration folder. And it was also so heartwarming when you posted something and then you see in your notifications, oh, someone add this to their inspiration folder. And you're like, what? For real? Oh, my heart. Or people leaving comments, or my future forever friends leaving comments all the time. Or like, hey, want to roleplay on my front page as our 2 OCs? Because that's what we did. I still have my OCs. Sometimes their names change or their designs change, and it's very funny bumping into people from DeviantArt, or like I was very active on Flipnote. And they're like, your OC seems really familiar. Did you perhaps go by username? And I'm like, yeah, that's me. And they're like, holy shit. Because it's like, I'm still doing the same things, just guilt-free now. I'm still making cringe OC art. I'm still drawing random ships, and I met a few people who weren't confident in drawing, but they were confident in their writing. So it was so exciting to be like, hey, I wrote a fic off of your OCs because I really like the art you do. Or, hey, this picture you drew made a story in my head, so I wrote the story. And I'm like, holy fuck. How does that happen? It was just such a nice place to be, and so much was going on in a creative sense. So I would call it very easy access page customization, very welcoming. It was very easy to ignore things because I will say I was a very blunt child on the internet. And I was like, oh, this Sonic art's really cool. I don't know why all their shoes are off. Like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Jay, you can ask me a question.
Do you want garlic bread?
No, I don't want garlic bread. Okay, thank you. But like, there was just a lot of good engagement and a lot of people to talk with. I don't remember what DeviantArt groups I was a part of. I would literally have to log into my DeviantArt to see that. But it's gotta be OC groups, comic groups, because I really wanted to get into comics, but I just realized they weren't for me.
Yeah.
And animation groups and like random fandoms, like probably Bean, Puppy Cat, and Steven Universe at the time. And Adventure Time, yeah.
Right.
Oh god. I miss being able to search on any search engine and just not see AI art, because you want to see fan art of your favorite show,
right,
or your favorite characters kissing. But now you can't. It's got more difficult.
Yeah.
But besides that, the fun of also because the mascot at the time, I'm sad they kind of just shoved him into oblivion. His name was Fella. They named him Fella. He's just a little fella.
Just
and I love... He's just a little guy. He has, like, Rayman proportions, floating hands, and whatnot. But, like, this interesting 2000's shading. I'm not even looking at an image of him. He's just burned in my brain.
Yeah, I see him in my mind's eye.
I can rotate him. But he's got, like, that, like... It's a good design. As someone who animates and designs things, it's a good design. It's solid, it's confident, and he does look like a deviant. And I feel like deviants and cringe kind of go hand in hand. But a lot of the time while I was listening to people before this, I was looking at old DeviantArt emoticons, because they were just called emoticons. I was trying really hard to remember if they were called emojis or please accounts, but I was looking at the emoticons. And when I first started going on Twitch, I was really confused, because I was like, this guy's from DeviantArt. the little D
Yeah.
frowny face. And I'm like, he's from DeviantArt. They stole him. So I was just looking at all the old emoticons, and it was so delightful to just find these little favorite galleries. I'll put it inside chat. Because I should cite my sources so the same thing doesn't happen again with us losing the source. Because the oh no's frowny face D emoticon guy, he's like, he was the default, I'm giving him pronouns, they were the default like frowny face. So someone on the DeviantArt team made that sprite work, and I probably should go on a deep dive and contact someone on the team and or someone to reach out to and find out who designed most of these emoticons, because you're a part of like internet history, dog.
Yeah.
I want to know, but I don't know if I can't send messages inside chat. I don't know, I'll just DM you DeviantArt link. But a lot of the charm was seeing people make their own emoticons in the style of the emoticons. Them being these little circle pixel art emojis, and they have little ball hands, and they can be any color you want, and people would just animate them. And I was so happy to see this, called Melt, published April 30th, 2006, and the long description of this user and artist, they're a pixel artist and animator. That's such a cool thing to say. They're like, hey, my friend left a suggestion on a forum for this emote, so I animated it. And then they give a cringe personal detail. I have an AP test this week, so I'll be studying. Enjoy this. It's like, there's something so raw and genuine about that.
Yeah, like, I think Twitter's, like, character limit has set us back as a society. Because I miss, like, the long notes you'd get on, like, DeviantArt descriptions, fanfic accounts, the author's notes.
Yes!
And, like, Tumblr tags.
Yes! I am trying to heal that part of myself ever since I started using Twitter, because I restarted my Tumblr accounts, and I am so happy, but I feel so restrained to the character limit that when I do long tags, I'm like, wait, I'm typing too much. And then I have to tell myself, no, I gotta be loud.
That's the other thing, too, is, like, what you're saying with people, like, commenting on your work and stuff, and sharing them to DeviantArt groups. Like, that's another thing Twitter's just kind of destroyed, because, like, you can't really foster a community on Twitter like you could on DeviantArt.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of created this divide between artists and their audience now, where it's so rare to get interactions with, like, people who consume your art.
It's so difficult, and it was so easy, and part of me wants to just put that magic in a bottle so we can do it again.
Right.
Because I would make so many friends on DeviantArt, and I would be... One, I was active because I was a child and I didn't have a job to go to. Right. But besides the point, I was happy. It was easy to look up stuff. It was easy to communicate to people. It was easy to decorate your page. And if you didn't have something to decorate your page, you would just make it yourself. Rip Flash and the Sonic OC Maker. Oh my god. That shit probably started so many animation and comic careers. We need to admit that. It's just so hard to, like, hold on to that sense of community, and I think the most we have, in a way, is, a lot of it was dumb luck, but you gotta, like, set up a Discord and be super active to get on the front page and, you know, be consumable. And it's so hard. But I just find it funny seeing that little guy from DeviantArt come back, because he was originally called Oh Noes.
Yeah.
And I have the little sprite of him on my page because I've just kind of been staring at him, and all these other emojis, and it's so easy because you could just go to like someone's favorite folder called emoticons or funny faces that I like. You can just click through them and see people's favorites. Like, that was another form of art consumption. You could look at people's favorites and their gallery.
Right.
I remember the joy of making my fan art folder. So it's like, hey guys, look what this person drew for me. Look what this person wrote. That's really cool. Please look and appreciate it. But there's something so cool. I can only imagine for people like I wanted to do sprite work, specifically page dolls, but a lot of it was, you know, being a kid and being busy growing up. But seeing pixel artists make all those emoticons and animate them on such a small scale, the emoticons are literally 15 by 15. And that's insane. To make something so readable and so small and cute.
Yeah.
And it's just so sad to see DeviantArt reject that, because there's so many broken old profiles with broken file paths and links and hidden artwork, because we had to pull back. We had to like protect our work, or we were just embarrassed about that chapter of our lives. And that's their own decision, but it's just sad to see a part of that, like with Flash dying, just be gone forever. And for DeviantArt to like wipe its past and just ignore it. Like, there's no acknowledgement of how cringe it was. It's all so squeaky clean and professional now, and there's no fun in that. Okay. My other talking point, did you ever do OCTs?
I don't think I know what that is.
They were original character tournaments.
Oh.
And they are the coolest fucking thing ever. My favorite thing ever. Where people would make DeviantArt groups. I'm sure this happened on other internet forums. I was just mostly active on DeviantArt, but OCTs, always abbreviated to Oct. So I was like, why are we talking about October? But when I did figure it out, people would host things on DeviantArt, and they would either make a group or a journal and organize the OCT and say, hey, submit your characters and I'll draw them, or submit your entries for the contest. And they would do the setting and the prize, and you would submit your character reference and be like, hey, my character has crazy Mary Sue Stew powers, and they're gonna fight your OC. And that's the coolest fucking prompt ever. Basically, baby's first D&D. And I wish I had the confidence to contact Zarel. Do you know his animations?
Maybe if I saw him, but I don't recognize the name.
He currently is working on Monkey Wrench, and he's very transparent about production costs, and I totally admire him for that. But I first met him on DeviantArt, and let's see if I can find, because he's an animator primarily, and I didn't meet him. I discovered him on DeviantArt, and he would do these original character tournament entries with either comic entries or animations.
Oh.
And he would animate his OCs or your OC fighting each other. That's the most like fucking huge power move ever.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I just want to animate people's OCs. I want to make things, and it was these really cool comics that would follow the tournament hosters theme and prompt of like, okay, the winner gets an ultimate wish, and every other OC would have some sort of like character moral and motivation of like, I wish my dead wife was back, or I wish for money, or I wish for world peace. And it's like, oh, okay, this is fun. I'm learning about characters in every entry. And yes, those animations had a chokehold on me. And I'm sad because I think I can only find it on the Wayback Machine, and I haven't opened. I don't know if it's on Newgrounds, but I have to find Zarel's freaking OCT animation entries, because there was one where his robot character snapped because he thought, because he entered two characters. One was a robot and one was a humanoid with a robot arm. Very cool. And I'm just giving a very blank summary of a really cool premise, but like, the robot character snapped because he believed his human companion was dead. And so in the whole animation, his screen goes red and he's in a blind fury. And he's fighting someone else's OC. And I'm like, this is so high tension, and I'm having it all for free on Deviantart.com. And it had opera music, it was synced up to a song, and it was just so cool. I don't know how old he was at the time when he first animated it, or if just seeing artists do this nothing but fun is just good. So good. I wish everyone afford rent and food and just have fun. Have fun making art, because it was a lot of fun to look at OCTs. I want to host one day. You found it on the way back. Yeah, give me the freaking video, huh? On the Wayback Machine. It's hard because I don't know if it was uploaded on DeviantArt as a flash file, because I know DeviantArt would end up putting up a paywall for you to upload MP4s. Like, you need to have a core membership to upload things. And that's when things started to get bad. Like, why are you limiting people's creativity through a paywall?
Considering like every other website lets you upload MP4s for free.
And also, it's kind of the same sort of syndrome with, like, I don't know, Twitter, like paying for a thing. Oh my god, Jay linked me this fucking OCT. I'm gonna shit my pants. Okay. But yeah, it's putting a cap on someone's creativity. Granted, there's not much creative on Twitter because it's a big toilet thoughts website, but you're literally forcing us to condense our words and be the most consumable short sentence ever. It's very, you have to fit and conform. Versus something like way back when on 2010's DeviantArt, I'll call it, Goldrush era, you could do whatever you want, and you can make mistakes and just explore a lot of things and just have fun. Of course, you're I don't know. I think it's a song lyric. It is a song lyric from my political electrocore bands. Where it's like, you can't walk, but you're forced to crawl. Because I view that with art and any creative medium. You're not going to be good at it the first time, and you're going to make really bad things. But that's okay. You'll get better. Yeah. And I hope you're having fun, because that's a lot of the charm in developing a new skill or hobby. Yeah. Yeah. OCTs, though. God fucking damn, are they cool! Just seeing people throw their OCs at each other. I don't know if you were ever a kid to be like playing with your friends and be like, I'm a magical dragon and I have fire breath.
My god, yeah, I did that so much.
It was like that, but on the internet for me.
Mm-hmm.
And you would do little role plays sometimes, or you would role play on your front DeviantArt page, or you would draw each other things and have fun prompts, and it was just so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't. Was it called Law of Talos? I remember a lot of people started thirsting for what's his name? His character is by unknown person. That's their username, and that's why I had such a hard time looking for that user, because their username was literally unknown person, I think. And what was their OC's name? They became really popular and basically a sexy man of DeviantArt. Yep, Carl. That's his name. The most generic male wife name. It's like fucking Larry from Pokemon. His name is Carl, and he was a character submitted in an OCT, and everyone started thirsting over him. And it's so perfect and so cringe, and I love it. Yeah, I remember this loving Carl. I didn't have a crush on him, but I watched all my friends have a crush on him. I just like seeing how he's animated, because the person who animated it animated their entries with their OC Carl, and he had like a shape-shifting bird that would turn into a weapon. It was so badass. Oh, dang, it's already... I could talk forever. Like 20 minutes! Okay, I need to say, adoptables and sparkle OCs.
Oh.
I still have my adoptables. I never adopted any of them, though. I need to confess, I never adopted any of my adoptables. They were literally given to me. Because these creators, I would always comment on their work, because I was actually saving up. I was saving up to commission them for custom designs on DeviantArt. And so I'd follow them and I'd leave comments on their work, and then randomly they'd send me a DeviantArt note and say, "Hey, this poor OC never got adopted. Do you want them?" And I'm like, "You're leaving a baby on my doorstep. Of course I'll take them." And so now I have my OCs, like, I have them currently named Kyra and Chaos. And I have another one named Nova. And one is a Sparkle Dog alien. Another is a shape-shifting edgelord master of edge. And another one is like a dorky mechanic. And they all started as Sparkle Cats. And they just evolved over time. I like keeping the core components of their design because it's special to me. And that, like, nature of brightly colored anthro.
Yeah.
And they can do amazing things because they're Sparkle OCs. And it's just a dear part to my heart. So of course I'm gonna, like, keep their core components, but make them more personal. But it was very sweet that I had friends or strangers approach me and say, "Hey, this is something I worked hard on. Do you want to, like, carry on their little legacy for me?" And I'm like, "Of course." Yeah, nothing makes me happier. Anyone is welcome to give me their dog or their cat with me, or their freaking male wife they're tired of taking care of. I don't know. I'll take them. Yeah, those are my big things about DeviantArt. Oh yeah, Jay kind of gave me his son, but I like forwarding that it was originally yours because I like the idea of shipping our OCs and we're dating. I think it's very fun. Yeah, I just have this OC that was once Jay's, and yeah, I'm trying to keep the core component of his design, but it's like, ships your OC with mine. Yeah. I think I did all my talking points.
We still got about 16 minutes if people want to ask questions and things like that. One of the things that I feel needs to be brought up, because it's kind of inseparable from DeviantArt in a way.
Yes.
But, like, I feel like a lot of the DeviantArt culture bled into Tumblr.
Yep.
Because, like, Tumblr had a similar thing where it was very much, like, unhinged, cringy people doing whatever the hell they wanted. And then corporates tried to get in and profit off of that. Yeah. But where DeviantArt and Tumblr differ is, like, Tumblr pretty much started a revolution, like, just revolted against corporate interference. Like, every time Tumblr got bought out and tried to, like, monetize things or do anything, the Tumblr community was like, no thanks. And they just, like, made that website extremely unprofitable to maintain, like, its artistic freedom.
Yes. Become ungovernable. Fucking bite them. I don't care. We need a place to have fun and have customization and be super cringe.
Yeah.
We need it.
I will keep telling people, like, if you have not made a Tumblr account, please. Like, there was that, like, mass exodus from Twitter, and people were going to, like, Blue Sky and stuff, and more terrible websites. But please, if you're gonna leave Twitter, which you should, I haven't, because
for your mental health.
Yeah, I need a Twitter, because social media is my profession, so I need it to live. But, like, no, you should absolutely make a Tumblr.
You should. I think you should try it out. Nothing makes me happier than following cringe tags like Hatsune Miku and OCs and then having that come on my feed.
Yeah.
It's so exciting because then I find an artist who does Miku art and I'm like, oh fuck yeah. Yeah, if you're looking for an excuse to make a Tumblr, do it, and then let me follow you.
Yeah, because, like we were saying with, like, Twitter limiting character count and DeviantArt paywalling videos, Tumblr has, like, no limitations on how you can format your posts at all. Like, there's no character limit. You can put videos and images in the middle of your text posts. You can change, like, the font and letter size in your posts. You can use HTML on your blogs. And, like, Tumblr's done some weird stuff to, like, hide your blogs from people. So, like, you can only see it in the side posts and stuff. But, like, they're still accessible. And just the insane amount of customization on Tumblr compared to other websites is it's just crazy.
It's crazy, it's beautiful, and we should protect it like an endangered species, honestly, because I'm scared. I'm scared watching, especially growing up in this era of the internet, I'm scared watching all my favorite things die off.
Yeah.
I know there's other places and always new sites popping up. If I want to say something, I guess it could be you can't prevent change. But also don't conform. Know when someone's, like, harming your right to speak or your ability to be creative on the internet. It's a beautiful place and it should be free and easy to access. Gosh, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I think I've been trying to do stuff on, like, Newgrounds, because it seems like a nice place. I just haven't had a nice experience.
Yeah, that's fair.
But a lot of my favorite animators have a place there, and honestly, it's a reliable video player, because at some point, YouTube will take down your animation. At some point, things break, and internet links are just severed off, and it's good to post your work in lots of places because sometimes the social media falls apart.
Yeah.
But Tumblr fun, I'm sad to watch DeviantArt become a monster.
Yeah.
And I gotta put it down out back. But I had fun. I have good memories, and I have made a lot of amazing friends.
Absolutely.
I could talk about Flipnote and Pokemon Arceus if I have time next time. I don't know if I can catch your next ones, but been a delight. Thank you for listening to me. Go fucking watch a OCT, look up a tournament, and just read comics about everyone's OCs fighting their other edgy half angel demon OCs. It's so fucking cool. I love it. But yeah, epic poggers. I'm gonna just lay here.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming in. Like, I loved this discussion. That's like a whole side of DeviantArt I wasn't aware of.
For real? Yo, I was in free roleplays and wolf roleplays. Now some of my wolf friends are VTubers or fursuiters, and I'm just so happy to watch them grow.
Literally, like, I did most of my cringy shit on Tumblr, obviously. Like, I met Jackie through a really cringy fandom that we don't talk about. And it was funny, because, like, recently we found out that one of our friends from that fandom also started VTubing.
Oh my god.
And, like, we hadn't talked to this person in years. And Jackie was like, I just found out, like, so-and-so's a VTuber now. I'm like, what the fuck, dog? And, like, they still go under the same name and everything.
Oh, yeah. I get that. Ugh. I have to make a Google Doc of OCs I've drawn and my OCs, because I need their permission first, but they're not too active on the internet. But there's so much charm in all the roleplay art I have on my computer.
Yeah.
I don't have all of it, and I fully regret. Okay, if you're a creative, please back up your work.
Please.
Don't destroy it. Do not destroy a part of who you are. It's so nice to look back and see how far you've grown.
Yeah.
Reject that, destroy that part of you that cringes, because that's holding you back. I regret deleting my MS Paint art. I regret deleting most of my flip notes. I only have a few of my own animations, but I remember making so much more. But I can't look that back because it's all gone.
Yeah. Like, I need to go back to California just to get my old Sleek book that has a lot of my old art on it. But I'm pretty sure all of that's still on my previous Tumblr. I made a new one because I don't need people seeing that side of me. But my old account still exists. It's just locked and password protected. So I can still go back and look at all that stuff if I want to.
Yeah. I think the only thing I have is I drew a lot of Bill Cipher and Gravity Falls and Steven Universe in my art classes, like middle school and high school. I would just draw a lot of like I have traditional drawings, like pencil drawings and little paintings that I would make for projects of like over the garden wall.
Yeah.
And I'm sad because that's all I have. I don't have that era of Flipnote art. I don't have my MS Paint art when I first like started using Windows Movie Maker and MS Paint to make a kitty animation meme. That's a whole nother topic of like internet creative cringe culture. And I'm sad I don't have that, but I'm happy because I took a day to like cut up those drawings and make a big collage, and I dated them by year. And I'm just happy to have that at least, because I have like all my funny Steven Universe. I was really in love with Amethyst and Garnet. I still am.
Oh, yeah.
I have a lot of drawings of them. And
I also did so much Steven Universe art.
So many drawings of Ford and Bill Cipher and the Beast from Over the Garden Wall. And it makes me happy.
Yeah.
I'm happy to have that.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for being here. And of course, you're always welcome to come back.
I could talk forever.
All right. Did you have any closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. I love art. Make things with your hands, with your mouse. Have fun. And block anyone who's like mean to you about having fun. Just have fun.